Tzu Chi is known for its ability to quickly and efficiently mobilize its volunteers to help a community in need of assistance. Just how exactly can Tzu Chi accomplish this? The answer lies in its community volunteers as we investigate in today's Tzu Chi 50th anniversary special report.
Tzu Chi volunteer He Ruizhen and her family live inside a small apartment in Banqiao of New Taipei City. She starts her day of volunteering by first checking on a 96-year-old neighbor living across the hallway. He says visiting a senior is as easy as going into her own kitchen. The septuagenarian treats her like a daughter and is also her loyal supporter.
30多年啊，像你做我会员，咱做自治会员偌久你会记？嘿，哈，50几年啊，50几年啦，好啦，1973年，啊31年啦。我在劝募的时候，当然一定是从最。
When I began canvassing for donations, of course, I started right away within my building. Now my neighbors have all become honorary commissioners. If some sort of emergency occurred, we have already established a service network, and our brothers and sisters will quickly gather here.
Tzu Chi volunteers have propagated to all corners of their communities just like a dandelion. Even though interactions between neighbors living in the city are nothing like the old days of living in a farming community, the volunteers have knitted their neighbors closely together through community service. Whenever a disaster strikes, Tzu Chi volunteers can always mobilize quickly because of their regular community service. It was a terrible storm 20 years ago that prompted the building of a community network.
强烈台风赫伯中心位置在花莲东南东方。
Typhoon Herb brought torrential rain in 1996, triggering floods in central Taiwan and seawater intrusion in southern Taiwan. It flooded in Metro Taipei as well, with Banqiao hit the hardest.
接下来摄影镜头，今天晚上我们来到了台北市的这里的这个灾情是最为惨重的，我们已经可以发现海水整个已经倒灌。
Tzu Chi volunteer Chen Huoquan was still in his early 40s back then. Healthy and strong, he ventured onto the flooded streets of Banqiao to see if he can be of service to others.
The night the typhoon struck, it flooded seriously, so residents yelled out to me and said, "What are you people at the district office doing? We haven't had anything to eat all night." I could only apologize, as I am also a Tzu Chi volunteer. I immediately called my wife to have her ready hot meals and water, as she was part of the supply and provision team.
When he called me, I immediately called everyone together to prepare hot meals. Brother Wang Song came with a car full of kitchenware, while sister Luo Baoqing arrived with a car full of volunteers.
Due to the serious flood, residents were trapped inside their home, so volunteers had to deliver the lunch boxes on a raft.
As he was out surveying the extent of disaster and hadn't eaten all day, because we just finished making stir-fry noodles, other sisters told me to quickly bring a bowl to him, who was completely drenched. So right there, he just squatted down and began eating that bowl of noodles. Everyone was just really moved to see him worn out like that.
Master Zheng Yan has taken a special notice of me ever since Typhoon Herb. The master reminded me to get my hand looked at, but thanks to her blessing, I am fine now.
At the time, roadways just were not as complete, and the Tzu Chi Banqiao grounds wasn't yet built. Thus, even though volunteers from the nearby districts wade through water to come offer their support, there wasn't a gathering point for them, and they often got lost as they didn't know their way around town.
路不熟，人不熟，地不熟，所以你就到处乱走。所以我们找一个新浦国中哦。
People didn't know their way around and didn't know who to contact, so they were lost. Finally, we established a gathering point at Xinpu Junior High, and some 100 heavy-duty vehicles from Taoyuan and Hsinchu all gathered there.
Still, at the time, Taiwanese were accustomed to caring only for themselves, so Tzu Chi appealed to the public to extend a helping hand to their neighbors.
慈济人呢，走入了挨家挨户去帮忙清扫，可是可以看到楼上的人呐，冷眼旁观呐，所以从那一年开始，我们就开始要如何呢， 这呼吁到全民呐，邻帮邻呐，里帮里吼，那互相楼顶帮助楼下，落实社区。
林肯大进是北区第一次。
Assisting at the Lincoln Mansions was the first assignment of our team of organized community volunteers in the Northern District. It started with a brother from Xizhi who went in barehanded and saved a few people.
And that was how Tzu Chi's community volunteer network began to take shape, as better is a neighbor who is near than a brother who is far away.
The importance of community volunteer service is that it helps establish a localized support network for those in need. To agencies providing the service, this network allows them to deliver their aid conveniently and quickly.
Since then, Tzu Chi no longer organizes its volunteers based on people, but area instead. Not only has this strengthened Tzu Chi's efficiency and diversified its service, people of all ages and backgrounds can contribute as well to help improve their community. And that was how community volunteerism became Tzu Chi's 8th footprint.